Yay, I can see it now.
Nice. Yeah, it still sounds so loud. Well, this is kind of a loud area, I guess. At least I hope I turned it down enough. It was something. It's better than nothing.
It could go down a little bit more for next time.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I thought we were loud enough. It's just that it would have been a little bit better if I had done.
Yeah.
Done
no,
more.
I understand.
So it's not a huge deal. It's just something that'd be nice.
Right. Yay, those dancing guys.
Yeah.
Oh, now they have hula hoops. They're like, I'm a planet, bitch. This is my moon. Anyway, yeah. So we're live.
Yeah. We'll just wait a couple minutes for people to get here.
Sure. Yeah. So where are we again right now? This is where like the fairground and stuff.
Yeah, this is Nautilus, the like, amusement park.
Right. Yeah. Is the entire place an amusement park? Or is it like they just happen to have today a thing?
No, it's like known to be an amusement park. So.
Okay. It's like Atlantic City.
Yeah. So I'm just going back and fighting these easy enemies just for a bit extra Christogen.
Was there an ATM on the ground?
Yeah, but we opened it last time, so...
Oh, right, okay. So that was why it's on the ground.
Yeah. No, this guy was awake. What the fuck is this? I thought that guy wasn't part of the team.
Yeah, I thought so too, because he was, like, very statuesque.
I can get a sneak attack on him then.
He was like...
I was gonna go get a sneak attack, but I thought he was part of his own team.
Right. I did too, so... You're not crazy.
That's good. It's good to hear.
Yet. Oh my gosh, I just saw like a flurry of numbers. Just like...
Yeah.
I owe ya.
This guy is like, look at my jelly bean minions.
Yeah. This is me trying to take advantage of a preemptive strike and not doing very well. It's hard to know what to do with Saz because, like, he's the only character who knows haste at this part of the game.
Okay.
So ideally you'd want to cast haste at the start of the battle. But when you get a preemptive strike, you also want to take advantage of the chain bonus.
Right.
So you don't want to let it run out. So it's hard to know exactly what you should be doing.
Is it almost as bad as just like rolling some dice and figuring out, hoping the best will happen?
Well, no, there's more to it. Because, like, you actually have an influence on what happens. You know, it's just deciding what you want to do and when is kind of, integral to the battle system, so... But that's kind of I guess that's kind of the beauty, you know? You can sort of just do things the way you want to do them. And, some methods are better than others, or maybe not, you know. I guess what I should have done, that's another thing. Debuffs are easier to land on staggered enemies. So you know, a good thing to do when you get the preemptive strike is to stagger the enemy and then just put, because the stagger's not going to last very long. So what you should probably do is, what's it called? You should just stagger them real quick and then apply any buffs or debuffs you want to do, because, you know, during that time when they're staggered, they're not.
You really got a preemptive strike on this guy?
Is there what?
You really got a preemptive strike on that guy?
Yeah, actually, if you're real quick with it, you can get them.
You gotta be quicker than that.
Yeah. So these guys, when you get a preemptive strike, they're super easy because you can just you can debuff, and that will push them into stagger usually.
Right.
But then you have a little bit of time to buffs, and all I really need is haste, just to make everything go faster. So yeah. So let me just upgrade the Crystarium real quick. What was I doing here?
I was gonna say, like, every time I see Vanille with her like staff, I guess, her mini staff, I think it's like, behold my rain stick. It sounds like rain.
Nice. I guess I'll need. I don't know. I don't really need anything in particular from any of these trees right now. What would be useful against this boss? Oh, it doesn't matter anyway, because they're all really expensive.
It doesn't really matter.
This is part of. See, this is again going back to the whole.
But he's not so much a magic guy, right?
Well, yeah. It's just when you look at Ravager, the best thing you can do as a Ravager is just get as many elements or abilities as you can. So that's usually what I'm looking for when I look at it. It's like, what abilities can I get, like, soon, and which one should I work towards?
Sure.
I guess, yeah.
Is there one in particular, like, is there usually a method as to which one you should do first? Which one you should pay attention to, like, I don't know, I guess get points in first?
Yeah, it's just whatever you plan on using the most, or whatever you think needs the most bonuses or extra abilities or stuff like that. Okay,
but there's no, like, recommended...
Not really, no, because there's so many different... Because they give you 3 rolls, you know, you can't really... There's no... It's not like FF10 where you can end up wasting your time getting useless abilities.
Okay.
I guess HP would be pretty good here, so... Yeah, but like in FF10... Oh, what were you saying? Oh, here we go, Dispel. Can I get this? Nope. Well, that would have been useful. But yeah, it's like I was actually sort of debating this with somebody. The difference between FF10 and FF13 in terms of like the level up system. Which we can talk about in a sec, because I think we've given enough time. It's been like 5 minutes or something, so give a
proper introduction.
Yeah, a little welcome. So hey everybody, we're back again. It's been a week. It's Wednesday. It's actually Halloween today. Not that either of us really give much of a shit, but you know. Here we are.
It was Abuela's birthday.
Oh, is it Willow's birthday today?
No, Abuela.
Oh, Abuela. Sorry, I thought you said Willow. I heard Willow.
Abuela Flora.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you remember her? You were kind of young still.
Not really, just very vague memories of like what she kind of looked like or whatever.
Well, we certainly give a shit about that, so...
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we're back. We're still in Chapter 8, but we're at pretty much the very end. There's only like 2 bosses to get through now. And then we're gonna go... Wait, what chapter? Yeah, we are on Chapter 8, so...
Yeah, we're finishing that up.
Yeah, so this is the end of Chapter 8. And then we're gonna start Chapter 9. I don't know if we're gonna... Chapter 9's kind of long, but, it kind of has...
Yeah, so I was gonna say just welcome, thumbs up, talk in the chat.
Yeah.
All is good, so.
Let us know what you think.
That guy is fugly.
Yeah, these enemies are kind of scary.
He's got, like... his prostate's hanging out a little bit.
Oh, yeah? So these things...
Yeah.
Again, these things are like, I can see a little bit of, like, insect, what would you call it? Inspiration?
Yeah, I could see, because, like, there's little multiple lights that could be construed as eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I need to heal. Holy shit. Yeah, so, but then again, it also definitely looks like some sort of fucking, like, warship, or, not a warship, but like some sort of tank-looking thing, maybe?
Right, yeah. Oh, I hate its, like, mouth thing, whatever that is.
Yeah, the yellow thing.
It's like predator, like... I don't know. I'm making hand motions right now. That's null.
Yeah, be sure to use Libra so that you can pretty much instantly take advantage of its weaknesses.
Put it in the prostate. It's hanging out.
That's a gun, by the way. I don't know if you can tell.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said.
Yeah. Is it weak to wind? Not really. Well, it will be in a second.
I mean, like, the character creators for this one, I don't know.
It does. I think it looks pretty imposing, so I think it does the job well in that regard. Like, it's pretty fucking scary in my opinion.
Yeah.
Oh, we might be able to kill this guy in just one stagger. This would be nuts. Yeah, we will. We should.
Oh, cool.
If I get the...
How the hell can it, like, hold all of that weight on those spindly toes it has?
Damn, that was fucking fast as fuck. And there we go.
The fastest fuck I've ever fucked.
Yeah, that was really fast. I saw Pup do a low-level run of... Well, he's been doing, like, all the bosses. Or they've been doing all the bosses. Right, yeah. But, like, at a low level. Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see just how much you have to rely on potions and stuff instead of, like, actually switching to a healer paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've never walked back this way. Oh, you can go all the way back here. Well, there's nothing here, though, so...
Right.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I did get some Christogen for that.
Christometh?
Yep. I really don't need any Ravager abilities at this point. So I guess we'll just take the Commando tree towards Scourge and Jeopardize. Yep. So this is, Oh, I do have a doctor's
sounds like lawyer stuff. Those abilities.
Oh, yeah. That's true. What could I do here?
Secretly behind this.
I guess auto-protect would be pretty useful. I don't know. Oh, I need resist fire. Yeah, there we go. In fact, I could just equip 2 of those if I really wanted to. But I only have 1, so there we go. What was the other thing? Oh, right, resist physical. Yeah, so this is, so last time we were talking about, like, oh, why is this a cutscene? What the fuck's going on here?
Fooled ya.
I don't know what this is. I don't remember that cutscene. I have to skip it because it's a cutscene, but...
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, last time... Yeah, this is like one of the best fucking cutscenes in the game. It's where, Saz confronts Vanille about the fact that she kind of is the cause of all of, not like his problems specifically because of his son turning into a Lassie, but also like just everybody's bullshit in general.
This guy looks like he could be a dwarven boss from Skyrim.
Oh yeah, a lot. I guess a couple of the Eidolons do look like that. Oh man, you know what I should have done? Well, I guess no, it's okay because
Brynhildr.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got heels. Like.
Oh yeah.
Shoes, like high heel shoes.
Uh-huh.
Hey, pup.
Hey. I've been watching your
laptop runs like potato.
Oh yeah.
I'm a potato.
Yeah, I was watching Pup's like I was saying before. The low level run. It's pretty entertaining.
Yeah, happy Halloween to you too. Did you dress up, Pup? Or just like scare some children? Ooh.
Oh yeah, but last time we were talking about like the characters and their what's it called? Like their
characteristics.
Yeah, but like their arcs, I guess, or their development.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So last time we talked about Lightning, Hope, and Snow. I'm pretty sure we finished talking about them.
Oh wow, that's all we talked about.
Well, we mentioned some other stuff as well, but you know, most of what we talked about was just them.
Man,
yeah, this fight is really easy if you have oh, you can skip these. Oh, okay. I should have done that earlier. Yeah, just press back. You can.
Is that like Guitar of Glory or something there? It looks like a guitar on this.
It does kind of, doesn't it? It's I don't know. It's like some sort of. It's like a double-headed scythe, but it's also kind of like a gun blade. It's also kind of a gun.
Isn't a double-headed scythe a pickaxe?
I guess. Well, no, because a pickaxe is just like a spike, isn't it? But like scythes are actual blades.
Right. Okay, but it would look.
It would look kind of like a pickaxe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But like with more defined blades as opposed to just, you know, a spike.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Weird. Double scythe. What does it mean?
But yeah, so now we're on board the Lindblum or Lindblum. I don't know how you say it. I think it's a reference to FF9. Or like, well, I mean, you could say that about a lot of shit in Final Fantasy. It's a reference to an earlier game.
Oh yeah.
Let's level up some more.
Hooray!
I always gotta go back and check if I got all of the old shit before going to the new shit.
Pop says that if he did dress up, he would dress up like a popper.
Nice.
Like a doggo. Tomorrow my friend is having like a post-Halloween party because just people couldn't, like our circle of friends just was busy.
Yeah, that's
and so we're meeting tomorrow and we're doing we're coming in costume and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really have like a good idea of what to be. And I wanted just like low effort kind of costume.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like, oh, maybe I could be Velma from Scooby-Doo.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, no. The perfect one is Arthur. So, like, I can have a library card and do the library dance, like, song.
Yeah.
Like, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. And
I barely remember that show, holy shit.
oh my gosh. Do you remember the Crazy Bus song?
No, actually, I didn't really like Arthur that much because I felt like... I wasn't a fan of the way it was animated. I didn't like
You didn't
how...
like the way it was animated?
Yeah, I thought it looked kind of shit compared to other cartoons. So, there you go.
Oh.
Not that the show itself
gosh,
was poorly written or anything.
I feel like I don't even know who you are right now. Oh my gosh.
It was a pretty memey show, though, I felt. Like, in
Memey?
retrospect.
No, it don't, like, well, only because we, people our age made it memey.
Yeah, but, you know, they wouldn't have done that if it wasn't relevant, so...
I don't know.
Well, like, I mean...
There's some obscure memes.
Yeah, I guess that's true as well.
Memes are equal opportunist.
Yeah.
You don't have to be relevant or popular to become a meme.
What was really funny was, watching Pez. Pez is on, like, chapter 10, or he just got to chapter 11 yesterday, and just watching him go through the game. Like, he's running, Saz, Hope, and Vanille. So you have two synergists, 2 medics, and, you know, 1 saboteur, a pretty good saboteur, and, what else? You got 2 ravagers, 1 commando, you know. But the thing is, he doesn't have a sentinel. So it was, what was pretty interesting was apparently people were keeping track, and you know, he'll wipe occasionally to certain bosses or enemies and stuff, and you know, and that's like understandable, but apparently people were keeping track, and yesterday he wiped 15 times, like, in total. So, and he's like, it's funny to watch, but also as somebody who, you know, knows the whole battle system really well, it's just a bit, you know, it's a bit hard to watch for me.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh my god, why do the enemies do so much damage? And I'm just thinking,
cringy.
yeah, he's like, why do the enemies do so much damage? And I'm just thinking, well, they'd be doing less damage if you actually had a sentinel, so.
Sure. Yep. I agree, pup. He says, fight, fight, fight.
Yeah.
From the episode of Arthur. Or I should say book, I guess, yeah. Because all of those episodes are based on the books.
Oh yeah, so what I was just talking about was, like, the difference between FF10 and FF13 in their, level up system. And how people say that, like, 13's is really linear, while 10's isn't. And
sure.
Like, that's only like very slightly true, if true at all. But yeah, it's just it's something that really doesn't hold up, because I'll tell you what one of the biggest pains in the ass is, like, not just in FF10 but in any video game, is when you find out you've been working towards this skill or whatever, only to find out that it's fucking useless for the character you're trying to play.
Yeah.
And 13 doesn't have that at all, because 13 doesn't have any useless abilities.
Right. Yeah, I can see that.
But, like, also because every character has, like, a personally, like, curated Crystarium, you can't really make any wrong choices, or can't take them, like, anywhere they're not supposed to go. Even though everybody has access to the same roles, they learn different abilities in every role.
Yes, yeah.
So...
I agree that there's less, how do you say? There's less opportunity to make a mistake.
Yeah. And I really like that, because, like, it's like, that's like one of the things that pisses me off the most in any game, is just finding out that I've just been wasting my fucking time and resources, among other things, doing something incorrectly. So
for sure.
Yeah. But anyway, like in FF10, you know, you know what the what's it called? The sphere grid looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's basically, I mean, it wouldn't be too much of a stress or a stretch to call it refer to it as a clusterfuck, in my opinion. But you know, it's not exactly problematic or difficult to comprehend or anything. It's
Right.
just, you know,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it's not that well organized. And a
It
pain in
could
the ass.
be it could be a little bit more intuitive, I think,
Yeah.
for sure. It's just like the architecture of it is more complicated than it needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway, like, regardless of that, something that people like to say about 10 as a bonus against 13, or like something that 10 has that 13 doesn't, is the fact that you can take characters to like other people's part of the grid. And why, like, just because of that, the game FF10 has a more open level up system than 13.
Okay, yeah, that
And like I get it, but at the
I
same
understand
time,
where they're coming from with that.
yeah, at the same time, you know, I got into like a really interesting debate with somebody about this.
Interesting or heated?
No, it was pretty like respectful.
Oh, okay, that's fine then.
But yeah, it's like they were talking about how, you know, you can, like, if you want to make Titus a black mage, you can do that, and I'm thinking, yes, you can, but it would be a fucking waste of time, you know. So what's the point of doing that? Especially when every character has, like, kind of similar to this game. Every character has like a path that they say that you should take. So like, Titus should be a fast time mage, you know. That's like what the game recommends you should do. And actually that's why I think Kimahri is like the best character to play as in that game, or like the most fun character to play as, because you can make him like whatever the fuck you want to make him. Like he's the only character that they've like allowed that to happen with. So yeah, and that's, you know, and you know, like the way you handle that situation is all up to you as well. So, you know, if you want to make Kimahri like just like another Orin, basically like a heavy hitter, a slow heavy hitter with a couple of like debuffs, then you can do that, you know. Although in my opinion, you know, just as somebody who's played the game at least twice, I think, I think Kimahri is probably best as a, what's it called? A white mage, so that Yuna can just focus on summoning. I'd say that's a pretty good way to go about it.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't made that good of a paradigm setup here.
So I have an update for you. Remember how I told you about my friend who had like the giant dehumidifiers
Yeah.
in her place, and I was taking care of her cat Barb. Okay, so
Yeah.
they finally got those machines taken out. Thank God.
Yeah.
But for the time that I was watching Barb, the cat, she was like, I don't know, she was like, I must have a vigil in front of these machines. Like, she like didn't really interact with me. Like, I would have to like sit with her in front of the machines, and I was just like, okay, you know, these things are pretty loud. Are you not bothered by them?
Yeah.
And she was just like sitting there, like all content. And I think it was just because they were blowing hot air.
Yeah.
You know? And so like she was just sitting there, and she was just having her little floof like flutter around and stuff. And I was like, You are so weird. Like, I don't know how you do. Like, I feel like cats have better hearing than people, and I was like, wouldn't this be more annoying to them if it's already annoying to me? But yeah, so now it was almost as if she was like, this is my new god now, and I must pray to it for 10 hours a day. But now it's gone, and so I don't know. Her religion's been debunked.
Nice.
So, and her folks are home, so she's got her mom and dad back.
That's good.
So, yeah. But I still have like a couple violins from her.
Yeah.
They're still in my house.
I think this is a good paradigm setup. I've just been fucking around with this, trying to find something that is worthwhile here.
Hurry up, bruh.
I guess that's okay.
I'll make short work.
So yeah. Anyway, again, last time we were talking about the character development. So we talked about Lightning, Hope, and Snow last time. And so this time we could talk about Saz, Vanille, and Fang.
Sure.
Who should I be targeting here? I guess you.
Your mom. Our mom, I guess.
Yeah, so Saz, let's see. So I think the whole point of his character development, it's kind of hard to put it into like a simple synopsis of like what the point of his character development is.
I mean, I feel like there's so many factors and situations that are tying into his.
Yeah. So obviously the biggest part, or the biggest risk to his character is like his son. What do we need here? Sorry, I'm just trying to strategize properly. But also make sure that we get rid of this asshole. Yeah, so obviously the biggest thing for him is his son, and I guess the whole point of his character development is like pretty much directly tied to Vanille. Although
Sure.
actually something else we can talk about is the whole thing how, you know, we talked about Lightning's possible depression.
No problem.
And you know, that's a little bit of a stretch depending on how you look at it, and or what your experiences are personally.
Okay.
But when it comes to Saz, like, it's pretty obvious, because he literally attempts suicide. So, yeah, so it's another, and I think it kind of shocked everybody when they played it for the first time, because like I feel like Saz in particular is a pretty relatable character, because you know I've heard people talk shit about every character in this game apart from Saz.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Something bad's waiting for us.
Yeah, so like I've heard people talk shit about obviously Lightning, and
It's like he's untouchable because of that.
well, maybe not. I don't know. I think it's just because he has a very understandable like struggle. It's just a guy trying to save his son. You know, that's pretty universally understandable and easy to empathize with.
They're getting blown away now.
So, yeah, I think that's why I never see anybody talk shit about Saz. I do. The other character that doesn't get a lot of shit is Fang, but I still do see people, like, out of all the characters apart from Saz, Fang is like the least bitched about character.
Why do you think that is?
Just, I think the cool factor has a lot to do with why people like or dislike certain characters.
Oh my gosh, for real. Wow, people are shouting.
What?
Just cool factor? Like, she looks cool?
Well, she's got like a cool voice, she looks cool, she's got a cool fighting style. Yeah, I mean, people are really... I mean, you know exactly the type of motherfuckers I'm talking about, so...
Time for another approach.
Weird.
So yeah,
Change of plan.
yeah, but the only thing that I see people bitch about Fang is that she's not interesting enough, or that she's too like boring, I guess. So, and that's like, even that's kind of not particularly like. I would agree that, well, the thing is, she has like the, out of all the characters, she's the one who develops like latest.
Well, I mean, like, she's one of the last people that
Be ready for the next fight.
get to know.
Yeah, she's also the last person to join the party as well, so you know, it's kind of, it's
So
a
that
bit
makes
more
sense.
understandable. Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Well, to be fair, I feel like a significant part of her character development happens at the final boss. So not all of it, but like,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
But, I mean, do you think people take that as, like, oh, like, we gotta finish the game. Oh, let's, like, wrap her thing up a little bit more.
I guess you could see it that way. I think it makes sense personally, but because you know, there's no real reason for character development to stop if you think about it. You know, people don't really stop growing as people. So
Right.
this is a really pretty area, in my opinion. I really like these like sky high levels. I don't know. It's just exhilarating to me. I love that shit. But yeah, so going back to Saz, you know, the clear, and you know, he was talking earlier in the Sunleth Waterscape about how, you know, like he was thinking about how his son's focus might be to kill Lassie, and you know, if that's the case, then he seemed to have absolutely no qualms about committing suicide if that was what would fulfill his son's focus. So.
But those spindly guys are kind of hard to look at. Give me the creeps.
Oh, they're creepy, yeah. A lot of the enemies
Like, in
this game
some
are creepy.
way, like, I have no... Like, I don't know, it's something visceral to them. It's like, something ain't right.
Yeah.
That boy ain't right.
If you're gonna take care of any enemies specifically, I would recommend taking care of these deck drones first. Because, they have this really cool ability, actually, that no other, enemy seems to have, yeah.
Change of plan.
Which is where they all sort of attack together for some reason. I don't really know why or how they do that. But, yeah, so like they're doing it right now, this tornado kick thing. They charge up and then they attack one enemy, or one of your allies. So if you don't have a sentinel or you're just not prepared for it, they can kill you like really fucking fast.
Oh, Puck made an interesting point. And, like, people, like, if they're complaining about Saz, it's like, you know, he's like the only black party member, and just then being relegated to comic relief.
Well, yeah.
So, yeah, I agree. I really do agree with that. That's kind of pigeonholing, I guess. But I mean, then you also get the stuff like with the like as deep as his
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
suicide, but then like there's like, I mean, out of the rest of the folks in the party, no one kind of like steps up to be labeled as comic relief, I feel.
I would say Snow does a little bit, not as much as Saz,
A little
but
bit, yeah.
Snow ends up being the butt of a lot of people's jokes, and he doesn't mind that. So I would say like the two comical characters would be Saz and Snow, probably. So it's not like it's exclusively Saz. And I guess I could see why people have a problem with it, but at the same time, you know, he's not exempt from his character development just because he's the comic relief character.
Yeah, I think.
So there's at least that.
Yeah, that's
going for it.
important. Yeah, that's a little bit of saving grace.
Yeah, like if it's any consolation about that. I kind of, to be honest, I kind of felt the same way when I first played the game. I was like, you know, well, but then again, you know, I hadn't finished the game yet.
It's very tropey.
Yeah, it's kind of tropey. But I don't know, would people refer to that as like racist or something? The fact that the only black character in the game is like the funny character? Because I mean, I don't know. I would hope not, because like some Final Fantasy games don't even have any black characters at all. So.
Right.
Like Type 0 doesn't, as far as I can remember. Or at least none of the main cast are, oh shit, I might die.
I mean, like, at what point, like, for me, I'm unsure of, like, if troping is, like, something ist or isn't.
I don't know. I feel like, to be fair, I feel like a lot of people take it way, like, you know, way more seriously than it needs to be. In terms of, like, how important tropes are, or how tropey some things can be in a game, or just, it doesn't have to be a game, necessarily. See, a fight like this is where vigilance would be really helpful, because these guys, like, if you're using magic, they're just gonna interrupt the fuck out of you. So yeah, and that's, again, that's why I feel vigilance is the best synergist ability. Because it doesn't matter how fast you are if you can't get a fucking hit in. Alright, we're gonna switch to this.
You know, I'm trying to think, like, they're, like, back to the trope stuff. You know, like, there's always, like, sitcoms where it's, like, the kind of, like, chubby, not so stereotypical, like, socially good-looking, like, social standardly good-looking guy paired with, like, a very beautiful lady. But, like, the guy is always, like, the funny one. Kind of thing. Like, you see that over and over again. But, like,
would
that's
people
not,
refer to
like,
that as sexist?
I don't know.
Because I have no idea, honestly.
I'm not sure, but I mean, there's other tropes too, like if you have an action movie, and it's like, oh, you know, like the first person to get killed is always going to be like an African American person.
Yeah.
Like they're the first to go, or like the person that's going to like hack into the system is going to be like a younger person.
Yeah. I love how I died that last time, because I just happened to be standing too close to Fang while she was defending. That's like another sort of problem that I have with this game, is that like I can't control where my characters stand.
Right, yeah.
They fixed that in Lightning Returns, but obviously they also had to strip away other, like, your actual party members, so there's that too.
New strategy.
Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, sorry. Like, on my end, the screen was buffering a little bit, but
Oh, okay.
it's fine now.
Alright. I find that
was just
sometimes...
like, oh, the last time that happened, I vanished.
I found like sometimes that, for some fucking reason, my internet just drops my upload speed for no reason.
I wasn't sure if it was me or...
It might, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Pup, if you notice anything, keep us updated too.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that.
You know, I'll be able to look at the chat. Zora won't be able to look at the chat though.
Yeah.
I'll just have to announce it. So have you had any Halloween stuff going on in the neighborhood?
I mean, I've seen people like decorate their houses and shit, but other
Has
than that,
anybody come by to trick or treat yet?
I don't know. If they do, Louis will have to answer the door because I'm gonna be here for like another hour or so.
Yeah.
But after that, I can.
I
answer
mean,
the door.
I think it's a bad idea.
What?
Just like ringing the doorbell, you know, and stuff because
What?
like.
Oh,
No, I'm
because
just
of Maribel?
thinking, like it might, yeah, that
Oh,
it
no,
might
she-
stir her up a little bit.
No, I think she'll be fine. She doesn't mind. She doesn't seem to mind like loud noises or anything like that.
Oh, okay. It looks like they're doing a ballet dance because they're all like pirouetting.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking dancing enemies, aren't there?
Yeah.
I like it. I think it looks cool.
It's like, man, we're gonna have fun with this.
Yeah. I think the thing that's creepy about these enemies is the way they fly around. Like, they just glide, and they don't seem to have, like... Well, maybe I'm just, like, not looking closely enough, but they don't look like they have, like, thrusters or anything like that, so...
No, yeah.
And they just kind of glide around. They're kind of like those dudes that we said were scary like 2 parts ago. Those dudes with the spears. I can't remember what they're called.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're
Ship's
talking
parked
about.
here. Maybe we can use it.
Anyway. This kind of, I don't know why, but there's a level in Sonic, not Sonic Heroes, goddamn.
A Sky High level.
Yeah, but it was the one where like you had the KO farm and like you could pick them up and stuff
Back me up.
and feed them different stuff.
Oh yeah.
You remember? And there was a train, and you could like take the train to the different part.
Oh yeah,
to, like,
that's
the jungle area.
yeah, Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure.
Adventure. Yeah, there's like a sky level.
Yeah, there is. It's called Sky Deck. Really nice music in that, in that level.
Maybe that's why I remember it
Change of plan.
because of the music.
Although Sonic Heroes also has a Sky level. It's like the last level
No.
in the game.
Be ready
Yeah,
for the next
I
fight.
remember that too, but not as well. Like I know for a fact that this one was from
Yeah.
Adventure.
The one from Heroes is kind of like... It's more... Well, to be fair, there wasn't any grinding in SA1, so... That kind of has something to do with it. But that one was more like... It was open... It was like more open because... You know, the rails can take you between platforms and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why I like it. But also... Sky Deck looks a bit more like this because it's... You know, there's places for you to walk and stuff. So yeah.
Which enemy would you cosplay as?
In this game?
Yeah,
I don't
considering it's Halloween.
know. I guess if we're not counting bosses or anything like that. That's a good question.
I would be one of the little jelly bean guys,
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
just like bouncing around.
Oh, you know what's a cool enemy? There's this probably I'd say it's probably my favorite enemy in the game. Although actually no, there's I might be one of those dancing birds. Those are really cool.
Like the Aztec-looking ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Those are my favorites.
Yeah. So I'd be either them or there's like these there's these Sith that have swords. They're called Vladislaus or yeah, that's what they're called. I think they just look super badass, so I might be one of those. But I do like the dancing birds. I think those are, like, out of all the not Sith enemies, the birds are probably my favorite.
Yeah, I just think I would make a great little jelly bean guy.
Yeah.
You asked for it.
Anyway.
But yeah, so back to the character development stuff. I think that's... I've never really thought too much about it because it's kind of obvious, but also kind of hard to put into words specifically because, like, I mean, talking about Saz specifically, because like, what else is there to say other than depression? You know. So yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything more than that. It's like a cross between his struggles with depression and also like vengeance against Vanille. Because you know, he was really, I mean, literally his whole fucking life is his son.
Right.
And Vanille kind of fucked it all up for him. But that, again, it's kind of like the whole thing with Snow taking quote-unquote responsibility for his actions. Even though it's not really his fault that the purge happened, you know? And it's not really Vanille's fault that she was turned into a Lassie, or that, you know, that the Fal'Cie are trying to make slaves out of them. So... yeah. So
Do you want to move on to Vanille, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so, unless there's anything else that you or Pup has to say about Saz. But yeah, I feel like his character is pretty simple, like, all things considered. Maybe that's another reason people really like him, is because he's got quite a simple, like, you don't have to...
I don't know if it's simple as it is, like, more laid out.
Yeah,
you know, like
I guess that's true.
On the table kind
like
of
with the other characters, it's like at some points you kind of have to read between the lines, like with Lightning, because she doesn't really show much emotion.
Exactly.
So to diagnose what she's thinking about or feeling, you know, you kind of at some points, not all the time, but you know, especially towards the very beginning, you have to sort of do some guesswork as to exactly what it is that she's got a problem with. So yeah, I guess that's kind of pretty much all there is. And then his character development kind of ends with him forgiving Vanille, because, you know, he knows that it's not really her fault, and that if they're gonna win, then they need to work together anyway. So, you know, no use holding a grudge. That's basically his character development, and then also, you know, learning that it's not hopeless, because, you know, he can still fight for his son, because, you know, Vanille woke up from being a crystal once, so that means Dodge will too. So.
Well, let's move on to our little Aussie.
Yeah. So Vanille, in my opinion, I think she's the best written character in the game.
Like dialogue-wise, or?
Well, I'm referring mostly to the
to like character experience.
Yeah, like what she does as a character. So yeah, her character development basically, it just amounts to trying to take responsibility for what happened. I think it was 500 years ago, maybe 600 years ago. So this will be a spoiler for anybody who hasn't finished the game, I guess. But there's probably not many people watching anyway, so. Yeah, so Fang and Vanille were turned into Lassie, like half a century ago on Pulse. And I think their focus, if I'm remembering it correctly, their focus was just to, I guess it's the same as it's always been, to fell Cocoon. And so they cracked, basically, Fang turned into what I suppose would be referred to as like half of Ragnarok, because apparently it requires two people to like properly transform, which is actually like a super cool concept. Like it's essentially two people have to come together and become one person, right.
Yeah, like in Nordic mythology.
Yeah, and that's like Ragnarok is a Nordic thing, right? Isn't it? Like from their mythology. Yeah, so
like the stuff of Odin. And
yeah, and I was reading, you know, or not reading. Or were you gonna say something about that?
Reading? No, I I was just correcting myself.
Oh, okay. Oh, but yeah, I was watching a video about, like, I don't know, influences from Final Fantasy. There's a guy on YouTube named, what's his name? Gaijin Goomba. And he talks about, like, you know, cultural origins of, like, stuff from video games.
I think it's funny that he uses Gaijin.
Yeah. And
Gaijin
he's actually...
is like, Gaijin means, like, foreigner, right?
In Japanese, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was actually, I think he was, like, a school teacher in Japan or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what he did for... I'm not sure exactly how long, but he was, like, a teacher in Japan, so... And
Cool.
he's American as well, so...
Yeah, you could get an English teaching job.
Yeah, so, you know, that's pretty cool. But anyway, he makes videos about, like, you know, how culture affects, or how video games are reflective of culture, and, like, how, you know, video games take things from mythology and stuff like that, you know.
For sure.
So
yeah.
it's really fun, interesting stuff to watch. He occasionally features on Game Theory, and that's how I found his channel.
Nice. But that's just a theory.
Yeah. I don't know, I feel like I've kind of fallen off the Game Theory train. Because, like, I used to watch their shit a lot, like, all the time, like, pretty much every upload, more or less. But now I'm just... I don't know, I feel like I'm not as enthralled by their stuff anymore, either because I already knew what they were gonna say, or just because, like, I don't care, you know?
Right, yeah. My husband and I watch the film theory.
Oh yeah, they do have a second channel.
Every so often.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I don't watch that because I don't watch movies, so...
Pop's upset that we didn't mention the baby chocobo.
Oh yeah. I do love that character.
Like, okay, first of all, I was trying to, like, let all the serious talk happen about Zaz and not obsess over the baby chocobo, but...
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, so about Ragnarok before we get to Vanille. I was watching, he made a video about... What?
It happens.
Yeah. But Gaijin Guma made a video about, like... I think it was about just summons in general from Final Fantasy and, like, their origin.
Okay, yeah.
And so he also mentioned... I don't know if... I haven't played all of Final Fantasy, obviously, but, I don't know if, Ragnarok was a summon in previous games. It might have been, I'm not...
I have no
not really
idea.
sure. Yeah.
I'm not that versed.
Well, actually, speaking of that, just for context sake, I've played 6, 10, the Lightning Saga, Type 0, and 15. I think that's all that I've played of Final Fantasy. So, yeah. So I don't know all the summons and stuff like that. But to be fair, 6 had a shit ton of summons, so...
Anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, Ragnarok is basically the only, like... Not, I want to say historically accurate, but that's not right. The only mythologically accurate representation of Ragnarok was actually in this game, apparently. So... Including, like, the way it looks and stuff, so...
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Cool.
it's pretty cool. But anyway, the point of Vanille's character is, like, she kind of... Out of... I assume what was out of fear of hurting people, was she didn't want to complete her focus, but Fang was more afraid of her and of herself, and more importantly, Vanille, turning into a Seath. So she was, like, Fang was incredibly eager to fulfill her focus, but Vanille didn't want to, so what ended up happening was Fang transformed by herself. So it wasn't like the proper Ragnarok, it was just like, I guess
This
like
isn't even my final form.
yeah, it was like a weakened form of Ragnarok, essentially. And as like this weaker Ragnarok, Fang cracked Cocoon's shell. And then apparently what happened after that was... So when I was playing the game, this is part of the reason I don't really like how 13.2 retcons 13's ending. Because, like, what you would assume is they turned to crystal stasis out of force of will, which is, like, not only sensical, but it's also super badass. But apparently what happened was the goddess Etro, the goddess of death, took pity on them and forced them into crystal stasis instead. If I'm getting that right, I haven't read the novella or the Ultimania because I don't have them. So I might be kind of wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's... The what?
Are those online?
If they are, I haven't seen them. Like, as far as I can tell, the novellas were... The novellas might be in English, but the Ultimania is not. The Ultimania is only in Japanese.
Oh.
As far as I know, so... Yeah. What could I go for here? More... Okay, here we go. Yeah, so... Fang cracked Cocoon's shell, and then they both turned to crystal in the vestige where Anima was, and that's the fallacy that turned us, like Lightning and her friends, to, into l'Cie.
Right.
And then they woke up 500 years later. It's either 500 or 600. If Pup knows the specific number, I'd be grateful to, hearing it. But, yeah, they woke up, and then they, Fang lost her memories, because, you know, transforming is like a fucking big deal, obviously.
Transformers.
Yeah, so Fang lost her memories, and Vanille was so, like, what would you call it? So petrified of hurting people again that she lied to Fang, saying that she had also lost her memories, when actually Vanille knew literally everything that happened. And, like, she remembered absolutely everything, and so they, you know, I guess they traveled to, what's it called? Oh, I have the data log, I can look up its name. They traveled to Uriday Gorge, that's what it's called. And attacked the Fal'Cie... what's its name? Phoenix. Because Fang was like, maybe attacking this thing will jumpstart our memories. And so, obviously, Phoenix, in self-defense, branded Dodge, because Dodge was, like, I guess, just whoever Phoenix decided to choose as a l'Cie. So essentially what that means is it's Fang and Vanille's fault that Dodge became a l'Cie. Because they attacked Phoenix, and in self-defense, Phoenix turned Dodge into a l'Cie to try to, with the focus of capturing Pulse l'Cie, so that it could, you know, try to save itself. And I mean, they didn't kill Phoenix or anything, so, you know, no problems there, but still problems for Saz, because, like, that's his fucking son that just
Not
became
Phoenix, it was Kujata.
Oh, Kujata, yeah, not Phoenix. Who's Phoenix?
Thank you, Pup.
Yeah, sorry. Phoenix is another Fal'Cie, I can't remember where in the story they're from. But, yeah, wow, these guys do a lot of fucking damage, holy shit. So yeah, and so Vanille, it's Vanille's fault that, Dodge was turned into a l'Cie, and so, you know, obviously Saz has to deal with that, and we just talked about Saz coming to terms with his vengeance by realizing that it's not really Vanille's fault, similar to how Hope learned that it's not really Snow's fault that his mother Nora died. So, you know. So Vanille's whole story arc is sort of, as she and Fang put it, especially in Lightning Returns, atoning for what they did. So that's sort of their deal.
You asked for it.
Yeah.
But what I love about Vanille, similar to Snow, which I think we talked about, I hope we did because it's one of the best, like, aspects of their character. Similar to Snow, Vanille puts on this mask, right? She's like, oh, I'm really, you know,
Peppy and bubbly.
peppy and optimistic about what's gonna happen. But like on the inside, she's doing that because she's hiding how incredibly fucking scared she is, and also guilty specifically. And Snow does this something very similar, which is just
It's
you
like
know,
this denial, but like
well, it's not just denial. It's more like
properly hiding it.
it's like actual masking.
Right. Yeah.
and,
Like
like-
they are aware of the masking.
They're aware of what they've done, and they're kind of partially running away from it, you know, and or just trying to cover it up completely because they're so fucking guilty about it.
Right.
So it's stuff like that, you know, that makes me feel like, wow, this game has such incredibly realistically
Do
written
you think
characters.
there's like proper resolve for her?
Yeah, I think so. By the end of the game, obviously, because
But do you think like it's really come to change her enough, I guess? Like, I don't know if there's ever going to be like, I don't know if you can tag on that word enough for something like that.
yeah, well, in my opinion, yeah. Maybe not in her opinion, but I would say so, because what they did was, you know, at the end of the game, which is, again, spoilers, just in case anybody's not beat the game, but at the end of the game, Fang and Vanille transform into Ragnarok and kill the Fal'Cie that runs Cocoon. And then they plunge down through the bottom of Cocoon and form a crystal. As Cocoon's falling, they use Ragnarok's like massive crystal transformation to sort of freeze Cocoon in crystal, but it's not like ice, obviously. But like they trap Cocoon.
But it's like that
essentially.
same crystallization thing.
Yeah, they essentially
have it before.
they catch Cocoon in their massive crystal stasis and stop it from falling and crashing into Pulse. So I won't say they saved everybody, but you know everybody would have fucking died. Like no matter how many people had escaped to Pulse, if Cocoon crashed into it, everyone would have fucking died eventually, if not like almost immediately. So yeah, I'd say that's fucking, you know, that can
Redemption,
only be described as incredibly heroic. So yeah. So I would say that they do end up atoning for the suffering that they caused 500 years ago.
Right.
So yeah, and I just, like, mostly because of that masking thing that she does, is one of the reasons I think she's such an incredibly well-written character, because she's got, like, arguably the darkest demons out of the whole cast. And
Yeah,
she
it's
does
almost like super, I don't know, like clinical, almost.
yeah, like, yeah. I don't want to say that she's cliche or anything, but it's like, I can look at this character and see the fucking DSRM, like, entry, you know? Like I can see her as an example.
DSRM.
Is that what it's called? Or is it something like that?
Not DMV. Fuck.
No.
DMV something. Is it DSRM? You might be right. I just been lying.
I think it's DSM.
DSRM.
Is it? Something like that. But you know what I'm talking about, yeah.
Let's see. Psychology. DSM. Is it just a DSM?
I think it might be, yeah. I thought there were 4 letters in the acronym, but apparently it's just... I think it might just be DSM.
It's DSM. DSM 4, DSM 5. Now they have a 5. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, when I was in school, they were on 4. So.
Yeah, I remember learning in school it was 4. 5. Yeah. Nice.
It's crazy how science be.
Science B, man.
Okay. This is me trying to figure out why I got such a low star rating. I think I just need to start with even odds, maybe that'll help.
So, out of all of them, Fang is the oldest, right?
By yes, she is the oldest by technicality.
Yeah.
She's, again, did Pup say anything about the time? Was it 500 or 600 years? Okay. Well, I'm gonna just...
Yes, he did hear just Owen Wilson.
What?
He was like, did I just hear Owen Wilson? Yes. That was wow. But, Pup, do you know how old she technically is?
Well, I just want to know the difference between the War of Transgression, which is the thing with Fang and Vanille, hundreds of years. I want to know exactly how long ago. Because on the wiki it says 600, but I thought it was 500. So... And I think Pup might actually have the Ultimania, if I remember correctly.
It's almost like he should be co-commentating.
Yeah.
She?
They, I don't know.
Sorry, they.
I don't know, yeah.
Evil. 600, you think? Or they think.
Do they think 600? Okay, so yeah, in this game, Fang would technically be the oldest character at 621. So.
Oy vey.
Yeah.
So wait,
She was 21
21?
when she was turned into a Lucy.
She has so much gray.
She's just what?
She's got so much gray hair.
Does she?
I thought so. Like, she had, like, strands of gray and...
No, she doesn't have gray hair. It might be the reflection causing it to look like it's,
Yeah,
sort
Pup
of
says
gray.
they have the
Ultimania?
Okay, Ultimania, yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, so,
being resourceful.
yeah. So Fang is 621 and Vanille is 619 in this game.
Wow, they look like there's, like, a whole generation gap between the two.
Kinda, yeah, Vanille, I guess Vanille looks...
physically.
Oh, I guess so. Maybe, yeah. So yeah, again, just for that, like, the whole thing of Vanille, in my opinion, having, like, the darkest demons out of everybody, but she does, like, the best job covering it up. Like,
Yeah, it's almost like...
I think it's beautifopathy written. It's
I
really
feel
impressive.
It's like, not psychotic. Psychotic's the wrong word. Like, sociopathic. You know?
Well, yeah, but you would only know that if you knew what she was responsible for.
Of course, yeah.
And obviously she's aware of it. So, you know, I don't think... I guess you wouldn't be able to call them a sociopath because they are aware of,
No,
of
it's
what they do.
psychopath that they aren't aware.
Yeah.
Sociopaths can actually, like, have relationships with people.
Well, the other thing is...
And, like, feel bad for people.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is Vanille didn't want to kill any. It's like you could say that about Hope, for example. Like, Hope has had to kill people,
Yeah,
but
I
not
guess so,
because...
yeah.
Like, it's more like a survival game rather than, like, some sort of mental condition. I wouldn't say... Unless I'm, you know... Again, she's not a real person.
It's not that
so
they're
it's hard to-
excluded from mental health stuff, but
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from.
Oh my god, how the fuck did they not see me?
Yeah, she has a great voice actor. I agree. Pup says that she's an awesome human being.
Yeah, she does, Vanille's... I think Did we talk about this last time? Vanille's...
She does, like, gigs, so or meetups, right?
I don't know about meetups, but she does like, what's it called? Like live streams, like charity live streams, among other charity stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm really bad you today. I'm so sorry.
I am too. I had a fucking... I'll tell you what's nice. I've started eating, like, burritos for breakfast occasionally.
Nice. Yeah.
Like, it's... I don't know. I guess it's because people think of, like, Taco Bell and shit, and by people I mean me. When they think of,
That's narrowed it quite down.
yeah, when they think of, like, what... like... things about Mexican food or just burritos in general and think like, oh, that's not healthy. But no, actually, you can make healthy burritos and tacos and shit. So,
Yeah, just to come to the cut in it.
yeah, so like today I had some, what is it? So I put refried beans on it, and a little bit of cheese and some, what else did I put on it?
Lettuce.
Yeah, lettuce and
Lettuce.
a little bit of chopped, like, grilled onion and a little bit of chopped grilled bell pepper.
Tight.
So there you fucking go.
I
Yeah.
commend you for having a vegetarian.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's pretty much all there is to say about Vanille's character. Oh, fucking, by the way, I'm glad we're talking over this because the fucking siren that's going on in the background is so annoying in this section.
I feel like, okay, so speaking of sirens, I feel like there's a lot of songs, like pop, like modern songs that include sirens in it. I am not a fan. Absolutely not a fan. Oh my god, because I'm like, okay, even though I'm in a different country where like the sirens sound different, it still throws me off. Because like I hear it and then I'm like, oh, and when I hear it, it's on the radio, right? Okay, so that means that I'm driving the car.
Yeah, oh yeah.
When I hear it, I am like, okay, where is it coming from? Which side of the road do I need to go off to?
Yeah, fucking hell.
It never comes, and I'm like, the fuck? And I like turn off the radio. Oh, that bitch comes from the airwaves.
Come on then.
And so, ugh. It like it gives me anxiety as well too. It's like,
Yeah, I can get
I
that.
don't know, because like whenever you hear that, it's not for a good reason, right? Like something bad's happened to someone. Anyway, I digress.
Anyway, I think... Yeah, can you think of anything else to say about Vanille?
Look at my green stick.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't read this anymore. What the fuck am I doing here? Yeah. So I guess that's it. Anyway, the last character to talk about is Fang. So she basically has... She's like the last person to properly develop, I guess, because again, in my opinion, she does get some development.
I don't like the color on this enemy, by the way. I don't like that color palette.
I don't really dislike it, but I've seen better. Like the ones that are like white and yellow and green,
Yeah,
I think
that's
those are
cool.
Yeah.
But this one looks really dopey. Like, it doesn't fit, I feel.
Kind of. Well, actually, no, it fits with the color palette of the other, like, human enemies in this area. They wear these colors. So I guess in that sense, it makes sense.
Then they're wrong, too.
I guess so. But yeah, so Fang. Let's see. What's her character development? Well, she has the whole thing of, so basically, even more than Lightning, right? So Lightning is, a very distrusting person, and that's why she didn't, at the beginning of the story, she didn't want to work with other people.
She's not a distrusting person, but she distrusts people.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think, oh, I shouldn't trust her. She's distrusting.
Oh, no, yeah, I mean, she's distrusting of other people, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Semantics are fun.
Yeah. What was I going for here? Probably Ravager? No? Medic, there we go.
Yeah. Let's try to get her as hopeful in that regard as possible.
Oh yeah, Pup, if you're still here, I was thinking back about when I was talking about the, that super boss with, like, solo characters. Just in case I wasn't, being clear, when I said I did the math and found that Fang could do, could heal 8,000 HP in a single turn, I meant after 6 cures. That's what I mean by a single turn.
Oh, was this from last week?
I don't know if it was last week or the week before that, but we were talking about, like...
Oh, right. It could have been that one. Okay. Yeah, no, I that sounds familiar now, actually.
Yeah, so just in case I didn't make that obvious. When I say turn, I mean at the end of 6 cures. So, like, after using a full queue of heals would restore about 8,000 according to the math that I did, so...
I understand why you're making that point, but then... like, if the person... if I didn't know this game as well, or, like, the genre of stream that you're doing, I would have been like, sounds like he had this... like, embarrassing memory from 6th grade, and he wanted to apologize just, like, right now, because he was like, okay, remember when, like, I threw up on Jeannie's dress? Well, Jeannie, this is for you. I'm sorry. But here's my excuse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It kind of
no,
felt
I like
that.
I feel that.
But I understand why you were, like...
Yeah, because I think I was watching back the stream, and I was just like, I should probably clarify what I meant by that. So.
Ooh, that makes sense. Well, kudos to you that you remembered what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
And by we, I mean you. And by you, I don't mean you as a person, I mean you as your brain.
No, yeah, I gotcha.
Thanks.
Anyway, so we're gonna talk about Fang.
Yeah, so her, it's kind of hard to like narrow it down with some of these characters, but Fang's character development is basically amounted to, first she has to get her memories back, which it's when that exact moment happens, she doesn't make it clear, because she kind of gets a sense that Vanille was lying to her, which she was. So
She like use that for leverage.
Yeah, and she does do that later. Please stagger it. Okay. Yeah, so she gets her memories back at some point between Chapter 7 and Chapter 11. And then and obviously, the other thing to think about is if you're trying to look specifically at character development and you're like trying to understand the game, or at least from like a literary perspective, just look at what happens or why the character fights their Eidolon, because that's like, it's a big reason why you fight the summons in this game, is because the Eidolons apparently only show themselves to you when you're going through like severe emotional strife. Partially because that's dangerous to your brand. Like, you can accelerate you can accelerate the brand's progression by going through like not only intense physical trauma but also intense emotional trauma. And obviously that's bad because, again, if that eye opens, then you turn into a Seath, so... Yeah, so then the Eidolons show up to sort of save you, in a way, either by having you overcome your problems by or like, not problems, I guess, but like, overcome yourself by defeating them, or by just killing you and putting you out of your misery before you have a chance to turn into a Seath.
Right. Yeah, I'm really not a fan of that color palette.
Yeah. I can't say I like it, honestly.
You asked for it. Appreciate it.
Not that I know anything about, like, character design or anything like that, but...
No, I'd agree. I think it looks a bit derpy, honestly.
Yeah.
New strategy. Easy.
Yeah, so her character development specifically with her Eidolon is that, again, she's still afraid of not just herself turning into a Seath, but more importantly Vanille, because, again, Vanille's like the most important. Vanille's her only family, so...
Right.
Let's see. Yeah. So when in the next chapter, I think, yeah, in the next chapter when everyone decides, like, let's not listen to the fal'Cie, let's just do what's right, even if we do turn into Seath, and everybody agrees on that except for Fang, because, you know, that's the whole reason that she transformed in the first place, is because she didn't want Vanille or herself, you know, turning into a Seath, so she kind of...
Right.
It's partially...
It's like she spent all that energy,
yeah,
and, like, her mind was set on that. Like, she knew this, like...
Yeah,
I don't know.
she didn't... Basically, she was so rigid in her belief that this was the only way to fix their problems, that she didn't really want to welcome the possibility of other methods of overcoming, you know, our fate.
Time for another approach.
So,
Right.
yeah, it's really, it's pretty interesting when you take a real close look at her character development. So yeah. Let's see what else about her. She's in that essence, she's kind of a lone wolf, a little bit like Lightning. So that's where her similarity to Lightning comes in. But that's about, well, and then I guess the other similarity is that she's a badass. But not too much in common other than that. So.
She looks wicked cool.
Yeah. That's kind of, I really want... I know we've got like a limited roster space, realistically speaking, for Dissidia, but I would, just because of her outfit, I want to see her in Dissidia.
Right. Like, out of all the characters to cosplay, like, main characters,
Yeah.
I would think Fang would be, like, the most fun.
It's just such a nice outfit. I know she wears like a woman's, like specifically catered to a woman's outfit, but like if there was some male variant, I would wear that.
Yeah,
like,
just be,
instantly.
Just be the gender bender
Yeah,
of it.
it's kind of hard to think of what that would look like specifically. I guess it would just be like blue robes of some description. I'm
Yeah,
not sure.
but I mean, like, you can have, like, sleeveless robes still, I feel.
That's true. Yeah.
Because then that's kind of like that monk D&D look.
Yeah. And I guess you could just say to dress like Noel, because Noel, Fang was originally going to be male, so essentially Fang was originally going to be Noel. That's why they look so similar.
Is there any character art from that?
I don't know. I can't really remember.
That'd be cool.
There might be. You could check the wiki if you really want. It might have some of that early concept art.
Early concept. Or,
Yeah, so then the rest of her character development happens at the end of the game. Oh, well, then there's also a little scene, a little bit more character development between both Fang and Vanille. Is during Vanille's summon in Chapter 11. And that's where Fang sort of confronts Vanille about the fact that she's like, yeah, I knew you were lying about forgetting what our focus was, or what happened.
oh yeah,
So,
it
yeah.
works. I see. I just did a Google search. Pretty cool.
About what?
The male version.
Would you just type in male
Thank you.
Fang
No,
outfit?
I just put early concept.
Oh, okay.
For Fang.
Eat this.
There's some deviant art of it, which looks pretty cool.
You're nothing. Thanks. Keep the enemy off balance.
Yeah, so then the second most significant part of her, or second like big part of her character development is when Vanille encounters her Eidolon, and they sort of confront each other about the fact that they don't need to hide anything anymore from each other, and they have, as Fang puts it, they have a new family now, so there's nothing to worry about.
Are they actually blood related, Fang and Vanille?
No. Well, actually, I don't think they are. But before we talk about that, just want to mention the last part of Fang's character development is at the end of the game, where she goes kind of lone wolf again to try to do what she did 600 years ago, which was to become Ragnarok by herself just to satisfy the Fal'Cie, so that they don't, you know, so that Vanille specifically, or even anybody else, has to suffer. And then, you know, that's when Lightning and everybody jumps in to ensure that she's not alone. So, yeah. As in, like, she actually tries to betray the party at the end of the game by transforming and, like, just to save them. But then again, they come back around to help her. So just to like to prove that she's not alone in this. So yeah. So that's essentially in short, Fang's character development has to do with
Pop mentioned subtext between Fang and Vanille.
Yeah. But yeah, so just before we talk about that, the short version of Fang's character development is sort of learning that she doesn't need to be a lone wolf anymore, and that there's more than one way to like overcome their fate.
Right.
So that's pretty much it. And in fact, in that essence, she's very central to FF13's main themes, which is defying fate. So yeah. So I'd say she's thematically, she's a very good representation of the game's story.
Yeah. Okay, so the subtext stuff.
Yeah. So when I first played the game, I thought they were sisters, and like, you know, they don't look like each other, obviously, but you don't have to be like, they could have just been. Yeah, they could have just been not foster. What do you call it? Like orphan sisters or something like that. You know,
Sure.
I don't know how Cocoon. Or not Cocoon. I don't know how Society on Pulse works, so. But yeah, and then I saw people saying, oh, I thought they were girlfriends. And I was like, what? I thought they were sisters. And then I took a closer look at their names. And so basically, their names are, what is it? Erba Dia Vanille and Erba Yun Feng. And I thought, oh, that's just like Japanese, where their last name comes first because you know,
yeah.
they want
That's
to
what I
make
was thinking,
they want to
too.
make a difference between the Society of Cocoon and the Society of Pulse by having their names be different, among other things, you know?
Sure.
So, you know, that's what I thought, and then I realized, I looked at the wiki and read that, or I guess you don't have to look at the wiki, it's probably in the data log.
Is it something about the suffix of those names?
So basically what it means is, like, let's take Fang's name, for example. Erba Yun Fang means... Her name is Fang, of the Yun clan, living in, like, from the city of Erba. So that's what it means. I thought Yun and Dia were their middle names, but no, that's their clan names. So they're not even from the same clan, so they can't really be sisters. Unless it's like some Yakuza thing where they have, like, you know, they drink sake together and then they become, like, blood brothers. Even though, again, there's no blood. But yeah, so, you know, disregarding that possibility, yeah, so apparently they're not even from the same clan, they just happen to be from the same city or town.
Right. Just different clans within that town.
Yeah. So if, you know, again, I don't know everything about it, but assuming they're not from the same clan, that means they're probably also not from the same family. So they're not really sisters. If that's, you know, if I'm following that correctly.
Sure, yeah.
So, yeah, and then you could just, on top of that, you could just say, oh, they're just really close friends, like best friends.
Yeah, like childhood friends.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, I feel like they're too close for them to just be friends. So that's why I think pretty much everybody kind of agrees that they're, like, what would you call it? They're girlfriend and girlfriend, so.
Cool. I mean, like, if that's the case, I think that's amazing. But I wish they were a little bit more overt about that. Just to, like...
Yeah, I guess,
you know, to make the people who feel like they would be represented by them...
Yeah.
...feel inclusive.
At the same time...
Included, rather.
Or what? What was that you said at the end there?
Included.
Oh, yeah.
My brain's not working with, like, the tenses of words.
Well, if you, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the stream because we're only in 480p, but you could look at it if you look at, like, a high-res model of Fang. She wears, like, a rainbow-colored, like, a necklace with rainbow beads on them. I don't know if you can see that from here, but... And Vanille does too, I think. I don't know if she wears a necklace, but she at least wears, like, bracelets and stuff. I think she does. I think Vanille also wears a rainbow necklace. So yeah, it's like, I guess...
mean, but that's also just rainbow, too.
Yeah, there's that, and then also, like, Pulse is kind of like... I think we talked about this last time, but Pulse is like... Imagine if Australia was a whole planet with, like, Native American cultural people, like, or the people with... The people have,
you mean
like,
Aborigines?
No, I mean Native American.
Okay.
Although, to be fair, I don't know much about the Aboriginals, or Aborigines. So yeah, so maybe it is just because Caius wears, like, you know, green and red and purple beads in his hair as well, so... And he also has, like, a bunch of feathers and earrings and shit like that, so... Yeah,
it is rainbow, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Keep a cool head.
But, I mean... I really don't want to discredit them as a couple, but, like, I'm just thinking, like, rainbow.
Uh-huh.
I love rainbow. Like, I make every, like, if ever I'm doing, like, a crafty thing, then I make it rainbow.
Yeah. But, you know, again, there's more subtext, like how incredibly close they are. And some
I feel like Vanille is just colorful to start with, though.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
also
so it's
true.
like less obvious.
I don't know. I feel like they didn't want to be obvious about it, just because. I don't know.
We can win.
I don't know.
if we stay focused.
Even some gay people seem to prefer when stuff like this is like a bit more subtle rather than like super obvious.
Appreciate.
So you know, I guess for those people, they would prefer it like this. But yeah, just any, and it's again, I don't think it's ever officially confirmed that they're together. But in my opinion, the subtext is definitely there, like enough to make me think that they were sisters until I figured out, oh, they're not actually from the same family. So, assuming it works anything like our culture. So.
Well, Google is a trap because there's a lot of like fanfiction art of the two of them.
Yeah, I
Of,
imagine
like,
it would be.
of the two of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you would have to like really, since you haven't actually played the game or seen a lot of the cutscenes, I guess.
Oh, Pup wrote, and I'm sorry I didn't catch it. If I recall, they were both raised in an orphanage in Urba that uses the kids as sacrifices to anima.
Oh,
To be
okay.
mean to, let's see. That's how Fang got chosen to fight in the war.
Yeah, because I remember somebody made like an SFM animation, like of one of the scenes from the was it the novella, I think, which talks about like what happened during, like what caused the War of Transgression.
There was a video posted by Wonder Great on Reddit.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was really good. I really liked that, especially because I've
sounds
never
really good.
I've
I
never
feel like
read
I've-
the novella myself. So.
I feel like I need to watch that. It's on my watch list.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. I like it.
Doo-doo-doo.
But we should probably end soon because we've been on for like 2 hours.
Is there a nice place to wrap up?
Yeah, kind of. I think what's coming up next? The section with Saz and Vanille, I think. Right at the end of this section, I think. So, yeah. So we could end it there. I was kind of hoping to get further than that, but it's not really a big deal anyway.
Yeah, it's fine.
This is quite a long chapter. So yeah.
Everybody jump.
Yeah. Launch is really satisfying in this game. But yeah, did you have anything else to say about the like subtext between Fang and Vanille?
No, but I'm glad. Like, I really hope it is
Yeah.
a romantic relationship because I feel like there needs to definitely be more portrayal of that in
Yeah.
games, and have it be a little bit more open. Not a little bit. It definitely needs to be more open. That's just me. I would love to just have all sorts of groups represented.
Yeah, me too. I absolutely agree with that. But yeah, this is a good place to end for today. So let me just set up my paradigms before we head out. I think this is what I was using before.
Pup, do you have anything to say for yourself?
I hope Pup was here when I did that explanation of what I meant by the cure thing. Did he say anything about that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said it made sense.
Okay, yeah.
Or they, sorry. Oh. You know, ladies in and gents and our non-binary friends.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a good setup for now, so...
Cool.
So
Well,
just save, and yeah, that's...
while you're wrapping up, I'm gonna just say we are going to be here again on next Wednesday, same time. Although if you are in Europe right now, we had our daylight savings this past Sunday. So right now, instead of it normally being how we usually are, ending at around midnight, it is almost 11 at night, our time. So if you are in Europe or you are in a place that has already done the change of time, you will start at 9 p.m. But if you are in the States or in another place where they haven't changed the time, then refer to 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central.
Yeah. So it's gonna be 3 p.m. for us here in Chicago or Central Time. I don't know when our daylight savings changes. I don't know when that happens, honestly. So yeah, just make sure you're keeping up with it because we're gonna be doing it at 3. I'm not sure when that's gonna happen, but yeah, there we go.
Oh, Pop wants to know what we're gonna stream next.
I don't know. I feel like once we're done with this game, we might have to take a break because that's gonna be around like Christmas time.
Oh, that's true too. I don't know.
Or, like,
Pop, what do you
close.
think we should do?
I don't know. Oh, I also need to. If you get a chance, you need to send me a picture of your emulated, your like ROMs and stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, we were talking about doing some Skyrim mods, right?
Yeah, I was also thinking about doing again, like I said, a quest items only playthrough of Skyrim, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of, yeah. It's like, it would take a bit of planning and shit, and I don't know how long that would last and stuff, so. Yeah.
We shall see and keep you updated.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so today we talked about the other 3 characters, Saz, Vanille, and Fang. And that was pretty much it. I don't know, I guess next time...
Something we could play together.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, internet's funny like that, huh?
Yeah, well then there's also the issue of like my bandwidth and our shitty internet and
Not
stuff.
only that, but like, you know, if we were to play something online, like in a, like Gary's mod or something like that, we would have to, it would be like the Europe one or the American.
Yeah, oh, and then that would fuck the ping even more,
like,
yeah.
The ping would be stupid for one of us.
Yeah.
So.
That'd be kind of shit.
Scheiße.
The only thing I can think of is like that online Pokemon game. I can't even remember what it's called, but...
Pokemon! Yeah. We'll think about it.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, again, join us next time at whatever. It's gonna be 3 p.m. for me. So if you're... If the Western daylight, like the American daylight savings doesn't happen, and you live in Europe, then it's going to be an hour earlier, I guess? Or an hour later? Is that what it is? No, an hour earlier, right.
Bye, Pop!
Bye, Pup. But yeah, it's just take a look at whatever time it is here in America. So it would be 3 p.m. Central for us. In America. So, yeah, that's about it from us. Thanks for watching, guys. And, I guess we'll see you next time.
Have a spooky evening!
Have a good, Halloween. We'll see you guys next week. Bye!
See ya! Bye!